Hi, welcome. I am back. Second episode here, and sorry, we're starting to talk about money, but let's get the bad news out of the way. I'm delivering bad news today. That's why I'm wearing a tie today. I always like to wear a tie to deliver bad news. And today we're talking about inflation. Inflation, it is a big problem, so I'm going to break it into 3 videos. Okay, right now it is November 2022. Hopefully, hey, someday maybe this goes away very fast, and when you listen to this, things are much better. But who knows? Who knows? Right now, November 2022, it's very bad. As I said, 3 videos. Today we're going to talk about what it is, why inflation is so bad. Next video, I'm going to pretend to be a cable news talk show host, an opinion cable news talk show host. And I'm going to give my opinion on what we're going to blame inflation on. And lastly, the third video is about what are we going to do? What can you do to protect yourself against inflation? Well, what is inflation? Why is it so bad? Well, it wasn't all that bad. For the last 3 decades, inflation was quite tame, but it has gotten out of control. It is almost 10%. I'm going to call it 10% just because it makes the numbers so much easier. But it is really out of control, really, really bad. Yeah, I know it's not quite 10%. I'm just going to call it that to give you some examples to see how bad it is and how much it affects you, how much it robs you of your hard-earned money. Well, let's look at some examples, see how the math works, see why inflation is so bad. Let's talk about a saver, somebody who has $1 million in their bank account, right? Bank accounts, if you do it right, they're FDIC insured. If you do it right, you cannot lose your $1 million. It's guaranteed by the government, right? So you started the year with $1 million in your bank account or bank account spread out, and you think, wow, I did very well. The market is down this year, but I'm okay. I didn't lose any money. Well, you didn't lose any money. You still have your $1 million, but you did lose. You were robbed. You were robbed about $100,000 if you have 10% inflation, because now your money doesn't buy you $1 million anymore. Everything is 10% more expensive. So in real dollars, your $1 million is only 900 and change. You lost close to $100,000 in purchasing power because of inflation. Really, really bad. You saver, you were robbed. Now, how about a worker? Let's talk about a worker. Let's say this is you. I don't know what your income is, but let's say you started the year earning $100,000. Boss pulled you into the office and said, I'm going to give you a raise this year, a 5% raise. You're ecstatic. You've been waiting for a raise for years. Finally, a 5% raise. You go from $100,000 to earning $105,000. This is your lucky year, right? No, you too are affected by inflation, because those $105,000 don't buy you $105,000 worth of stuff anymore because of that 10% inflation, right? So right now you got that 105, but you're losing about 10 because of a lost purchasing power of inflation. You too were robbed, right? You thought you were getting a $5,000 raise, but you got a $10,000 lost income, lost purchasing power of your income. So you were robbed. You really own. It's like you started the year earning $95,000. That's where you're at. Inflation robbed you, the worker, as well. And how about the retiree? Let's talk about a lucky retiree, somebody working in the private sector who actually got a pension. Those are few and far in between, but hey, there's still some companies that offer a pension. Unfortunately, most of them don't have COLAs. COLA is a cost of living adjustment. You have to go work for the federal government if you want to get one of those. Anyways, most people in the private sector, if they have a pension at all, it has no cost of living adjustment. So let's say this retiree started the year with $50,000 pension. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Most people don't get that. They're fine, right? Well, they're affected by inflation too. They too got robbed. If we have 10% inflation, $5,000 of that $50,000 pension was robbed too and lost purchasing power. So inflation affects all of us. It is really, really bad news. Sorry, I have to deliver that. So in our next video, I'm gonna speculate my opinion on whose fault it is. See you soon.